The rain last night did a really good job of cleaning up my new stone project. That'll be really nice when you step out of the cabin or going inside. You can keep your feet clean. And another little addition. Wasn't necessary, but I like to putter. On the subject of puttering, I'm working on peeling those logs out in the woods out there because I want to. Well, it started out, I just wanted to build a gazebo because I wanted a place that I can sleep outside and maybe have a little bit of a wall around me. Somehow, like with that bear the other night, I mean, that just brings it back that these things come wandering around and I want to sleep peacefully, so I wanted to put up a gazebo. Well, then now that's I'm going to start off with get a deck with maybe with the wall coming up. I'll be able to put a screen tent on top of that for now. And over, I don't know how long it's going to be, 2-3 years, get that, what was going to be a gazebo, now I think it's going to be that guest cabin. But I'm just going to work at it slowly. First of all, get a place that when I want to sleep outside, I can have a little security out there. Welcome to Martin's COVID-19 gym and spa. This is where I come for my workouts in this spring of 2020. Got plans for, well, it started out to be a gazebo and now I'm really thinking about it being a guest cabin. And we've got all these tamarack trees that I'm taking down before the bugs, the larch beetle kills them. They're a heavy tree for a cabin, but I think it's going to work okay. So I come over here, I know I'm going to need 30 to 40 good logs, and the last couple days I've been able to get 5 each day because with about a week to go on my trip, the temperatures have really cooled off and made really good working days out in the woods where the exertion is all that gets to me, not the heat. But things don't always go as smooth. You can see it's quite a tangle around here, and I'm trying to put these trees in the spot where I can come in next winter with snow on the ground and get a packed path. And then, of course, now I have this new tool to use, the snow dog. I found out that when you get these logs peeled like that, especially when you're first peeling, they are so slippery you can slide them around wherever you want. And that's one reason I think that with the snow and ice next winter, I think I'll be able to make a track, and I think that snow dog will be able to pull these logs up to our building site. When I started this project, over 3 weeks ago now, I started off, and there was a little bit of a clearing here before, and there was a lot of these tamarack trees standing around it, so I just started dropping them, and the wind was very important. It was hard to fight the wind on the treetop as when it went to fall them, but I was able to play the wind for a number of days, and I got all of the good ones. There's still some tamarack standing here, but as I look up them, they're pretty snaky, and so kind of bend around too many times. So they're not really, they'll be good for firewood maybe, but not for my building project. After cutting quite a few of these trees down, I've gotten better at looking up and eyeballing them. This is one of the earlier trees I cut, and it's just, you get it down and realize that there's so many small little twists and curves in it that going to be no real usable wood in it for a cabin. It makes excellent firewood, so it's not lost, and I can also use the pieces to lay down for skidding the other logs along. On an ideal tree, I can end up with two 18.5-foot long wall section logs that'll work well for the walls. Some trees I only get one, but again, ideally the thickness will hold out long enough that I can get two 18.5-foot wall sections out of it. One of the things that I'm hoping for in this extended June stay at the cabin is to be able to find some more of the orchids. This is the woods right below the cabin that the calypso orchids are so prevalent in. But down here on this curve, we can get into some of the other orchids, and I'm going to go down and check, and I'm hoping as the days go by that there's a lot of them start to pop up. Well, here right away we have one. I'm not sure the real proper name. I would just call this the yellow lady slipper, but we can check later in the book on that one. We're really in luck this morning. Now this is one of the, I think it's called striped coral root. Again, I can check on that later to verify. Now we're down into this really shaded part of the trail, so there's moss, but I don't think there's enough daylight in here for the plants to grow well. But there's a little bit of a, well, I'll call it a little island here coming up, that a little more sunlight, a little higher ground. See what kind of vegetation might be coming up there. Need to be careful here. I step in the wrong spot, I'll be over my boots. Now we're coming up on the little higher ground now. I'm gonna step in here and see if there's anything. Well, there are a lot of things. I just don't know what they are. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure this is the rare ram's head orchid. I have found a few other of these plants around, but this isn't very far from the cabin, so this is a real treat. Even a little foggy down this stretch as the sun starts evaporating some of all that rain we got. The branches dry off. I'm not sure what the problem is with these guys. Here, this one poked out the bottom hole, and about 15 above it, there's another one up there just a chirping and a yakking away at him. Oh, I see, there's two up above chirping and yakking away. Maybe we have a little jealousy thing going on here. It's a really hot, sunny day, so take advantage. I got some bath water warming up there. Put some stuff out. My gray jays just aren't coming around. I put some pancake crumbs up there, and blue jay caught one, and the little squirrel just came in and took a piece, but otherwise, my poor Canada jays, I'm not sure what's going on. Really nice day. Surprisingly, the bugs aren't even an issue. It may seem like a crazy sign, but on a cloudy, stormy day, it just might save someone's life. The grass is still the greenest over the manure pile at Jonas's barn. How hot is it? So hot I'm browning my brats on the stove instead of building a fire. Got a Coke that I put in our freezer for a while. It's ice cold. Gonna really hit the spot. Not many days at the cabin that an ice cold Coke tastes that good. Not that many days at the cabin that you set your chair in the shade either. But it's one of those days. Wow. Feels like the calm before the storm out here. It's kind of interesting with the heat and the humidity. As I took a walk, even the aroma. Hear a little pitter patter on the screen tent over there. I think, yeah. Gosh, I'm a good weatherman. I said the calm before the storm, and here it comes. Definitely a little passing shower. getting ready to go for a walk, but I realized the post was fell out there. It probably wasn't a good idea. Yeah, not a good idea at all. It's just too nice out here not to try this walk again. I'm going to go down this way and then we're going to head south down towards Marty Marsh. If we get wet, I want to take a bath anyway. This is probably the hardest trail I have to walk, especially after last night's rain. These logs are slippery, up and down, and you kind of gotta watch every step. Haven't had the saw through lately, so need to step over this one. I'd love to get a good plant person to walk this trail with me one day, because I know there's a lot of really unique stuff growing here. Some of my corduroy is still showing, but most of it's sunken and moss covered, but it's still there to walk on. Need to find some more corduroy to build that hole back up again as we go on down our way. This is what you can truly call a cedar bog. So wet down here, the trees have a hard time even staying up straight. Once they get so big, they just kind of lean up against another one. There's a line we like to use sometime, and it's called, "This is why we come." And for this walk, this is why we come. I used to call this trail Hell Trail till I found these rare ram's head orchids down here, and so now it's officially called the Ram's Head Trail. But I've stopped by here many times since probably 6 or 7 years ago is when I saw these ram's heads here for the first time, and I've never caught them before, but by hanging around, and maybe it's just a good year, here we are, and why we come. A few weeks ago I came by and I saw this plant growing, but the leaves weren't even furled out yet, and this is what it looked like. And I knew it was in the right spot for where the ram's head had grown before, but I wasn't sure. Well, now I know. And I think I saw one further down the trail too on that first trip through. Getting about that time to call it a good day and go inside, but it must be the Calvin in me. I just can't make myself do it quite yet. The bugs, there were some big flies flying around, kind of a drone, but they're gone. One or two mosquitoes, but for a muggy evening with the thunder, you'd think they'd be crawling all over me. There was one right there by my eye, but that was it. Well, I think we'll wrap up this day. This next clip is blue jays calling and raising Cain with a barred owl that's back in the trees somewhere.